While IDN 11 is not scheduled to be released for a couple of more months, there are a few features that we're going to be pushing out to the existing Infrastructure.net web portals out there, and one of the most prominent is the new reporting engine. So we're going to get a little bit of a preview of that today. So logged into our portal, you'll see that we've got a little link here for Create New Report, and this is going to allow us to create a new report from scratch using the new interface. So you'll see that we have a couple of different tabs here that are going to break the report down into a couple of different sections. The first thing we have here is some details about title and the file name, as well as some keywords and a description. In our example here, we're going to be working with work tickets. In this case, we're going to actually be filtering it down to look at on-demand tickets. The data set that we're working with does have well over 100,000 tickets in the active and historical tables put together. So after we've entered a title and a file name, you'll see that we can also include some keywords. These things are going to allow us to locate this report easily in the future. We would be able to go into our search page and list out some keywords, and that would allow us to filter down to find this report, as well as any other reports that are related. On the Subject tab, this is where we're going to find essentially the target. In this case, we're talking about some tables here. When you click the initial drop-down, you'll see that we actually have two different sections. We have some common tables, and then the huge long list of all the tables in the system. So every organization will be able to specify essentially what their common tables are, and that will really simplify the process for people to locate the information that they're trying to display. Now, once we've selected a table, the system will then filter down the next list to be things that are related to that initial selection. So we can actually add a whole bunch of tables together here. So with just a couple of clicks, we can end up with a really complex query. Now, it's worth pointing out that if the field that relates the two tables together, if they're different in the two tables, then the system will note that. As you can see, the completed by matches up with the MID and employee. We're going to leave it with just that one table for right now. When we come over to details, you'll see that we do have a list of all of the fields, and if we had multiple tables, it would list all the fields in all the tables. We also have the option to record column sets, so groups of columns that we could reuse later. And you'll see that come into play a little bit later in the video. For now, we're just going to go through and select a number of fields here, cause code and completed by. We'll select our craftsperson notes, and we'll continue to scroll down here and choose some additional fields to add into our report. So we can scroll down and find our work request code, and we'll also add our work description. Now, once you've selected some fields, you can see that we can switch over here to selected. These are the fields we've actually added to our report, and this interface allows us to drag those fields up and down. And so you can see we can reorder those things. So that's good enough for now. We'll worry about the final field order once we've got the report generated. Coming over to Scope, this is where we can define some filters. And in this case, you'll see that clicking on Saved Filters does give us a couple of previously established filters. In this case, we're going to look at all the tickets that are requested in 2010. And again, this will be different between organizations. But you'll see that now we've after just a couple of clicks there, really, we can launch that. Our report is a little bit unwieldy because of the size of that work description field. Now, we could just expand the size of that field. The interface does allow us to drag field boundaries so that we can give it a little bit more space. But let's actually start by hiding some of these fields, because now that we've got the report up, we can see that actually we don't need all of these things. So just right-clicking on any of the headers gives you a menu that allows you to do a lot of different things. In this case, you saw we hid our cause field. So you can hide individual columns. You can see that we can also come in and list all of the columns available to us. And so you can check and uncheck fields here that will allow you to do a couple of things at once. So we hid a field, we showed a couple of fields. We can also drag our columns in order to reorder them. So you can see that we decided to show our requested by field, and it ended up at the end of the report. So we dragged that over to where we wanted it. You also note that we can actually right-click on values in the report and apply filters. And so in this case we said, hey, I don't want to see anything that was requested by the PM system. So now we're actually looking at on-demand work. So this is starting to get a lot closer to what it is we intended to show. Now another thing you can do is you can right-click on columns and specify aggregates. So for example, I right-clicked on the total cost. I said that I wanted a summation of that. And so down at the bottom now we get a total for that value. Now another thing that's troubling me is that we have this building code, and a lot of people won't know what that code means. So what we really want to do is we want to get the building name in there in place of the code. Now in order to do that, what we can do is we can join in a relative. And in this case, what we need, of course, is buildings, so that we can get the building name in. You'll see that we can still add additional tables here, either related to our root table of work requests or related to buildings. So we can string a whole bunch of tables together to get some really complex queries. So now you can see that we do have a list of fields here, and in addition to our work request fields, we've also got our buildings fields now. So we're going to add our building name, we'll save it, and we'll launch the report again. Now we just want to put our building name into the correct spot in the report here. It looks like we missed a little bit there. Now it's worth pointing out that this report has tens of thousands of items and is still coming up in less than a second. So now that we've got our building name, we can hide our building code, and then here's where the real powerful things start happening. I can now group this by the building, and so you'll see as I scroll around through the report, I can now get a total broken down by building as well as our final total at the bottom. And so now that we're pretty happy with what we've got, we can save it again. And another new feature is the ability to favorite this, and so you'll see when I click on that star, it becomes yellow. And what that does for us is the next time we come into our main portal, you'll see that we've now got that listed there on our desktop. Additionally, other users should be able to search for this report now. So here you can see, again, that comes up instantaneously. There's no delay. But in addition to that, not only can we view the data that we assembled here for this report, but of course we can always export this out to either PDF or to Excel. And so let's see what it looks like in our PDF. Now it's also worth pointing out that this is still a pretty large report, and so it will take 10 or 15 seconds for the PDF to be generated. So once it's generated, of course, we could save it, or we can just directly open it. In this case, we'll just open it. And so once again, you'll get a short delay as the PDF is brought down. And so now we can open it up, and that should launch our Adobe Reader so that we can take a look at it. So here's how the data comes out in PDF form. You'll see that we've got 258 pages, so that's why it took a couple of seconds for it to generate. But all the data we just saw there is now available here in this PDF. All of our totals, you can see it's still broken down by our buildings. And so, of course, from here we can print it or email it or do whatever we would like with that file.